Hey beautiful mums, I'm Belinda Joyce and welcome to Midwife in Your Pocket, the podcast where I share quick, practical wisdom for your journey through pregnancy, birth and early motherhood. In just 5 minutes, we'll dive into topics that matter most to you. So grab a cup of tea and let's get going on this wonderful adventure together. Today, we're tackling a question many parents have. Why do we burp babies and why is it so important? As a mum, you know how uncomfortable it can be to have trapped gas. Well, babies experience the same discomfort. Babies need to be burped during and after breast and bottle feeds because they can't do it on their own. Burping helps release trapped air from their stomachs, making them more comfortable. Wind that is passed here, in the bow for instance, is too far down, and at least some of this wind is likely to have been produced from the digestive process rather than from feeding or from swallowing air. This wind can only be expelled by them passing wind. But when should you burp your baby? Is it just after feeds? Well, actually, a little between each breast or during a bottle feed halfway through can really help make room for more milk and ensure a really comfortable feed for your baby. Look for signs like slowing down or squirming or seeming like they need to burp. And another burp at the end of the feed is also important. Now let's talk about how to burp your baby. There's quite a few different methods out there. The most common position is up and over the shoulder, holding your baby upright, facing them towards you, and then gently rubbing and patting their back. Traditionally, the idea was to pop your baby up so far that your shoulder was pushing into their stomach area to push the air out. But most people find just having them upright and doing some gentle rubbing and patting is enough. Gravity and gentle pressure on their stomach help to bring up those burps. It's like a bubble inside of a bottle. It should come to the top. But there are other positions too, like sitting on your lap with their chin supported or face down lying across your lap on their tummy. Find out what works best for you and your baby, and you can cycle through. Parents often ask me how long they need to burp their baby for. Just a minute or two is usually plenty. Every baby is different, so you'll learn over time if your baby needs a little longer to burp. And don't worry if you can't get a burp up sometimes. It's normal for babies to burp later, even sometimes when they're sleeping. In the past, parents would often burp their babies for really long periods of time, but there's no evidence to show that this is necessary. And like I said, you will get to know your baby. Now let's address a common concern, spitting up versus vomiting. Spitting up, or what we tend to call in the industry posseting, is normal. It's just your baby's stomach muscle not being fully matured and very tiny amounts of milk coming up. But vomiting, especially if it's forceful or accompanied by other symptoms, should be discussed with your healthcare professional. It can impact on their health, their hydration, and of course, on their growth. And if your baby falls asleep during feeds, it's still a good time to burp them. Burping gives them a chance to release any trapped air, even if they're less likely to burp while they're asleep. Try to support them well, because just being upright might be enough. And remember, after long bouts of crying or when your baby seems uncomfortable, a burp might help ease their discomfort. In fact, many parents find themselves holding their baby against them and patting or rubbing their back. It becomes a habit, and they do it at many times of the day. As your baby grows, they'll become more efficient at burping on their own. But in the meantime, trust your instincts and get to know your baby's cues. Some babies need to be burped every time, while others might not need it as much. So take care and happy burping. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Trust yourself as your baby's expert. Cherish these moments and know that you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for tuning in to Midwife in Your Pocket. If you enjoyed today's episode, Don't forget to subscribe for more bite-sized wisdom and connect with me at belindajoyce.com or on Instagram and TikTok at Belinda_Joyce_midwife. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. And until next time, this is Belinda Joyce, your midwife in your pocket, signing off. You're doing an amazing job, Mama.